it to him right up the gut. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Time to get a glance at the offensive starters, and one of those isn't J.J. Watt, but it's Derek Watt that we talk about.
Nothing wrong with being little bro here. A starting fullback at the University of Wisconsin. Not many teams are utilizing this position in the NFL, but he fits perfectly. Will be a great lead blocker and can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Hunter Henry brings it in. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 36 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Fake. Cousins. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Dan Williams might as well change his name officially to Big Dan Williams. A monster in the middle, holds down the run game against any team.
Second down, Cousins. It's complete to Watt. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
This path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Cousins to throw it this time. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And left side here, it's Graham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Carr now on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They go play action here on first down. Henry's got it out on the left side. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. On third down, Cousins. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
In the slot on the right is Graham. On second down, here's Carr. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. And after a nice gain, they don't need the penalty. They'll decline it, take the ball where the play resulted. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's a nice run, a nice game that has to have them feeling pretty good about themselves as we head to the 2-minute warning.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
Time to step aside. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Brought in by Walford, right side. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now the offense in that middle ground here on third down, 3rd and 5. The lone receiver right is Cooper. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Following the interception, Cousins, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. Again, it's Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. In the slot on the right is Graham.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
We ready?
Carr to throw again. Forced out to his left. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now San Diego getting set to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and got his man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. Final play of the half. Cousins firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They go play action. Cousins. He's got time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Here's Cousins. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. To 13 yards that time at a first. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
Cousins on first down. Buying time to his left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Please, over. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The all-pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left.
Here we go now. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
3rd and long for Cousins. surveying the field. Great protection. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jeremiah Tauchu charging hard for that outside linebacker spot. He gets in to drop him for a loss of 12. Shift together here from the D-line. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr to throw on 2nd down. On the screen, Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Look at that play by Khalil Mack. Another tackle for loss. I don't know how you game plan against him because he can do a little bit of everything, and he does it with such an explosive flair, too.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he slings one that's incomplete. Javonte Herndon, the intended target. 3rd down here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you or knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. from the gun on third. And incomplete here to bring up fourth down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That's taken inside his own 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.